Right, let's focus on the concerns around cholera. Some clarity on earlier reports that 2 new cases of cholera were picked up in the Northwest Province. In fact, those 2 patients were tested and identified in Hammanskraal and had already been counted in the figures in that area. The 2 patients simply hail from the Northwest Province. The health authorities apologising for that confusion. So, to be clear, currently we have 1 death confirmed in the Free State and 23 in Hammanskraal in Gauteng. That, of course, is the epicentre of the cholera outbreak. There's still no clarity on the exact source of the cholera. The Director General in the Department of Water and Sanitation, Dr. Sean Phillips, saying tests done so far are clear of cholera. However, the tap water in Hammanskraal is full of E. coli, and it's going to take 9 months to a year to get that clean. Let's speak now to Professor of Science, Engineering and Technology at the University of South Africa, Titus Msagati. Professor, thank you so much for joining us. Talk to us a little bit about the work that you've done in assessing water quality, where you've worked, the kind of issues that you've picked up.
Thank you very much. I'm from the Institute for Nanotechnology and Water Sustainability from the College of Science, Engineering and Technology here at the University of South Africa. I remember about 3 years back, we were called by the officials from that particular municipality with regard to some of the water-related issues that they received complaints. So when we heard about the issue that is developing at the moment with regard to the presence of Vibrio cholerae, it brought to the same thing that there has been a number of issues related to water quality. And if the Director General from the Department of Water and Sanitation said it may take some time, it's true, because you need to ensure that there is a proper universal access to safe drinking water to all. And this may take time because you want to address the problem holistically and once and for all. You need also to ensure that there is adequate sanitation to all communities. And in addition, you build a proper economic development to all the communities, in which case you need to ensure you have a proper human capital that is competent, that is dedicated to ensure that the infrastructure that has been invested there is manned properly to ensure that there's no outbreak of such kind of diseases or waterborne related kind of problems like the ones we are hearing now.
Yeah, it's a good point you make, that you don't just need the right infrastructure, you need the right level of skill to properly manage the system and to flag very loudly when there are any issues. Because it seems, from what we're hearing about Hammanskraal, is it's been many, many years of neglect and action not taken in time to prevent this absolute catastrophe that we're seeing now. You also do testing in areas such as Soweto, and I understand that you're focused on that particular region at the moment. We heard today the Minister in the Presidency moving to reassure South Africans that in general our drinking water is safe. But we also know that 1/3 of our municipalities are running into problems with their water infrastructure. So from your work that you're doing, tell me about the testing that you do and how confident you are about the safety of our drinking water.
Yeah, we do a lot of water quality tests. We test many parameters, including the presence of some of the maybe the chemicals, industrial chemicals or pharmaceuticals. We also test for microbial pathogens. And so far, for the areas that we have tested, we haven't noticed any serious concerns with regards to the parameters that we are testing. And whenever we go to the municipality, you find that even the officials, scientists, technicians, engineers, they are very much aware of that fact. And in most cases, they ensure that their treatment plants are working properly.
Yeah, so which areas are you satisfied that are looking healthy in terms of water and the management of that water?
Because we do such kind of tests periodically, and in all the samples that we have taken from especially the city of Johannesburg, they have a number of wastewater treatment plants. So far, we haven't come up with something that is showing that there is any threat.
That's good to know. How much do you also assess potential problems? Because I think it's also about making sure that a small problem doesn't become a big problem. Are you able to see from testing the water, or do you do other sorts of tests and assessments?
No, we do many other tests apart from the chemical or microbial pathogens presence in the water that is, especially the effluent that is being discharged into rivers or streams. But the danger may come if the level of neglect will continue to be allowed to go as we can see the trend is showing, because we need to have an investment in terms of both infrastructure, make sure that all the infrastructure is working properly, and we have a competence in terms of the human capital that is manning such kind of infrastructure. And in that case, we'll not have a problem. But if we continue to fall behind, to lag behind in terms of investments in infrastructure, in the human capital, then we can expect the worst to happen.
So which areas, I mean, is this, you seem to have focused a lot on Johannesburg. Is Johannesburg at any risk, or is Johannesburg, as the biggest city in the country, pretty organised when it comes to its water infrastructure? Or are you seeing signs of potential problems even for a city like Joburg?
No, the Johannesburg actually is, as we all know, is a business city. You have quite a big population, and not only people who are residing within the city, but you have people who are coming from many other places in the suburbs, coming to work in the city. So it's the best place to conduct such kind of tests regularly.
And so you would give a green light to the city of Johannesburg in terms of water quality and how it's managing its water, am I correct?
For now, yes, I can say that.
For now.
For now, yes.
We know that this, I think it's the Blue Drop report, is going to come out on Thursday, which is going to give us an idea of the country's water and how healthy it's looking. Are there other specific areas that you look at, and I'm not sure if you've done specific research on them, but are there other parts of the country where you look at at the issues around water and you worry?
There are other places. Say we may have other places outside, like the big cities, where the infrastructure is really dilapidated. We get these reports, and I hope in the near future we will extend the area of which we're working, and we'll cover such areas, such small towns, small municipalities as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's those small towns, and so many of those municipalities are either bankrupt or they don't have the level of skills they need to maintain the infrastructure and to make sure the standards are kept around our water. Thank you so much for giving us some insights into the work you do. That, of course, is Professor Titus Msagati. He's a professor of science, engineering and technology at the University of South Africa.